Yeah.
Welcome back to Domingo Live. We are going to talk about safety. Safety out at the beach.
Yes.
Especially in today's world.
Absolutely.
Where we have friends coming in who may not be close to the beach. Maybe they're coming in from out of town and this is
They're
the
not
first time.
familiar with our territory here.
Yeah, and there's so much that goes on. You know, we hear about the undertows, we hear about all these other things that are happening out there, the jellyfish, and then we heard about some other species that was out there. We've got Lacey Quinones here with the City Parks and Rec. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
What are some of the things that we should watch out for?
Well, first and foremost, I think you should always be aware of what color flag we're flying. So we do have a beach flag warning system that's put into place. It is a flag that's flying at all of the beach entrances that the city of Corpus Christi takes care of, as well as we post our surf conditions every morning on our Facebook page stories for Corpus Christi Parks and Recreation, so you can find that there. Second most, I always say never go into the water alone. You always want to go and you want to have a swim buddy, and that means you go into the water together and you come out of the water together.
So let's go back to the flags because they're so important. What are the different colors and what are the meanings?
Absolutely. So we have a red flag, which is going to mean we've got the highest currents going, so that water is moving fast. Those waves are really big and it's coming towards you quickly. We always recommend to never go in past your waist, specifically when there is a red flag flying. And then we have a yellow flag. So I like to say that that's like our medium kind of waves. Always have precaution whenever you get into the water there. And then we have the green flag. I like to say that green means go ahead and have fun, but again, it doesn't always assume that the water is going to be safe. Now, the two more rare flags that we have, and occasionally we'll fly those, is a purple flag and an orange flag. So our purple flag is going to mean that there's either a lot of jellyfish in the water or a lot of stingrays that are closer to the shore. Okay. A good way to know, so if you're coming into the beach and you see that purple flag flying, you kind of park, you get down. If you look in the sand and you see a lot of dead jellyfish in the sand, there's a guarantee that that purple flag is flying because there's even more live jellyfish in the water. Now, same scenario, if you see the purple flag flying, you get down, you kind of look around, there's not a ton of dead jellyfish or maybe none at all. It's safe to assume that there's going to be a lot of stingrays that are closer to the shore that day. Okay. And then lastly, we have the orange flag. The orange flag is a very rare flag that we do fly, but that's going to be an environmental warning, meaning that there's either a lot of bacteria in the air or there's a lot of bacteria in the water. Now, if you do see an orange flag flying, I would suggest maybe making it a pool day, kind of heading back home. I wouldn't recommend going to the beach on those days.
And we have all those colors and the flags and the designations on your website, correct?
We do, yes. Yep. And then, yes. And then, again, they are posted every single morning on our Facebook page stories as well.
Rip currents.
Yes.
Rip currents. Let's talk about that.
Yes. So rip currents are a very scary, or can be a very scary situation. So we all know that when you go to the beach and you're standing on that shoreline, those waves are coming to you and then the water's going back out. The water doesn't keep coming and coming. So when the water has to go back out, that's where a rip current forms. The water comes to you, kind of circles around, and at that point, when the water is going the opposite direction, that's oftentimes where you can get caught. So a good way to recognize a rip current is if a wave is coming towards you and it separates, in between, that water is going the opposite direction. So you won't see any wave action there. Oftentimes, you might even see some bubbles right along the surface. If you do find yourself caught in a rip current, the most important, probably the most difficult thing you're going to do is trying to remain calm. Oftentimes, what leads to drownings with rip currents is, one, it is a very scary situation, so there's a lot of panic that can occur. But turning around and trying to swim the way that you were just pulled out, because a rip current doesn't pull you under the water, it pulls you out to the very far parts of the water. Okay. So the drownings occur when people try to swim against that very strong water current. Unfortunately, you'll never win against the water. What you want to do in order to survive that rip current is you want to swim out to the side. You want to physically swim out of that rip current where you're able to kind of parallel swim yourself back down to the shore, where you can kind of walk back down to where your people and all of your things are. I do want to say, though, if you do find yourself caught in a rip current, it's at that point in time that I want everyone to make all the noise possible. This is where you're going to start yelling, splashing, screaming, because you want everybody back on the shore, including your swim buddy, to know, hey, I need help. That way my lifeguards can get there as soon as they can to be able to help that situation.
Yes,
Good
very
tips, good
ideas. Yeah, very
advice.
good
And we
tips.
were talking during the break that it's, of course, amazing advice that we need for the people that live here because we live right by the water. And also for the people that are, of course, visiting. There's a lot of people that have never been to the beach. If it's your first time and you're not familiar, you weren't raised around the beach, you need to pay attention. You watch Channel 3 and watch your weather, your favorite weather person,
sure.
and find out exactly what the weather is going to be. Go to their website and find out exactly what flag is going to be there that day and what the conditions are, the water. It's so important. It's just so important for them to know how that day is going to be.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't just go to the beach any day. You can, but you have to be aware. You have to be aware of your surroundings.
For sure. Lacey Quinones, thank you. All
Thank
the
you so
information
much.
you just shared with us, available on your website.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Domingo Live. Más música.